What about your audience? I mean, how does your audience break down between people who listen to a lot of country music and people for whom you are the one country musician?
You're asking the wrong guy about my audience.
I don't know who they are. You must look out and see them. And
you know what? And that's what's confusing. It's the band and I have laughed, especially with the advent of this record. When this record broke, there was about a month into this album being out. We played, was it the Casino? We played somewhere. I think we played Reno, Nevada. At a great, kind of massive ballroom casino, and or casino ballroom, and at one point there was this collision of a demographic collision that occurred with a kid that came down. It looked like he had a Cramps T-shirt on or something. He was like mosh pit pogo sticking through. And there was a female security, an older woman who was a security guard, kind of stocky and really, into the role of, gun belt wearing security woman. And she ramrodded this kid. I saw it happen, and Jonathan and I were on that side of the stage, and he was so, caught up in his own effervescence, kind of like, wow, yeah. It was like when that happened, it was like, bam. And I thought, man, this is 1986 at Irving Plaza. It's like Husker Du when we opened for the, and we're the Violent Femmes in Chicago at the Argonne. They were throwing, we thought, at us beer bowls. They were drinking beer out of plastic bowl, like cereal bowls. Sold beer and cereal bowls so they could just slurp it. The drunker you get, the wider the the vessel needs to be. So they were just and when they got done, and I remember Pete Andersen, my guitar player producer, got really pissed off. Coming out of the clubs, and started a fight. Started challenge. I looked over, the guitar stopped middle of a song, and he was out at the edge of the stage threatening to bring a guy out of the audience and he was going to, beat him to a pulp.
But cowpunk lives. So this kid in Reno,
no. Well, the Femmes said later, no, you don't understand. Our fans throw us their beer bowls as a sign of affection at the end of each song. They loved you. They were throwing it like to tell you, you're cool. Here's my beer bowl. And, so you have this collision at times. So it reminded me of that. And the woman hit this kid. And he didn't even know who hit him. He didn't even register. It was a security person. And he just bashed. He said, yeah, now the party started. And he knocked her backwards, and she did look like a bowling ball hitting a pin. She went backwards, somersaulted back twice, and came up in a boxing stance and went at the kid. And it was theater for, and that let loose. The whole room kind of came unglued. And it was like, yeah, that was 1982 in a club like the Lingerie in Hollywood and Sunset Strip.
But this was last year.
Yeah. It was just a few months ago. It was in the fall, so like October. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, that's always fun. So I don't know.
You got a complicated audience.
I have a complicated audience. Complex audience, and I'm lucky that anybody wants to hear what I do still, and I'm fortunate to have whoever the audience is that shows up any given night. I'm thrilled that they're there.
But tell me why you think that kid and that part of the audience, or the audience like me, non-country listeners, like your music.
You know what? I've never tried to analyze it to the point of calculating. I might have had further greater commercial success had I been a better analyst of what was working and why in a given moment. I mean, look, I can't complain. I had hit album right out of the gate with Guitarist Catalog. So we had double platinum on that. But there were albums later, this time sold 4 million copies. I then did Gone next, and that, was a bit of a curved off-speed pitch, for folks. But again, I think I've never felt that I was never asked by Warner Brothers, Lenny Waronker, who ran it with Mo Austin, kind of had a philosophy that was conducive to the artists being true to themselves, and I was allowed to do that. But I don't, I don't know why you would listen, and hopefully it's because it's honest and interesting.